What if I told you that your financial struggles aren't your fault? That no matter how much you hustle, how you budget, or how many side hustles you take on, the system is designed to keep you in a cycle of debt and stress. Millennials and Gen Z are the first generations in modern history to be poorer than their parents. But why? And more importantly, how can you escape this trap? You're watching this video as we're going to descend into the biting realities, into how the hidden traps work, and into what you can actually do to take back control over your financial life. From student loans to corporate greed, and from cost of living to keying into financial freedom, anything less would just be a waste of your time. So sit tight till the end. You will leave informed, but more importantly empowered. Weight of debt. Point 1. Let's start with one of the biggest barriers: student debt. For millennials and Gen Zers, a college education isn't just expensive, it's transformative. The average millennial graduates with more than $30,000 in student loan debt, and Gen Zer graduate isn't exactly far behind. Let's put that into perspective. $30,000 is more than the average American makes in a calendar year after taxes. That is not just a number, it's a burden that follows you for decades. And here's the kicker: it's not about the money you owe. It's about the opportunities you lose. When you're giving $500 per month toward loans, how are you saving for a house, building an emergency fund, or even investing in retirement? And if you are actually paying off debt, that's not just a financial issue. That's a dream killer. Quick pop quiz. What's more likely to happen: win the lottery or pay off your student loans in under 10 years? Spoiler alert, it's not the loans. But as heavy as student debt feels, it's just the beginning. Let's talk about something that impacts every single paycheck you bring home: the soaring cost of living. Point 2. The soaring cost of living. If you ever felt like your paycheck vanishes the day it lands in your bank account, you ain't lying. Over the past 2 decades, the cost of living has skyrocketed. Rent, for instance, is up over 150% in major cities since 2000. In cities like New York, San Francisco, or Austin, paying $2,000 a month for a studio apartment is considered normal. But wages? They've barely budged. Since 2000, real wages have increased by just 17%. That's not even enough to keep up with inflation. And it's not just housing. Healthcare premiums, grocery bills, gas prices, everything is going up, and faster than most people can keep up. For millennials and Gen Z, it feels like you're running a race where the finish line keeps moving further away. And here's the thing: it's not just bad luck or bad timing. The rising cost of living isn't an accident. It's part of a much bigger problem. Let's talk about the system itself. Point 3. Corporate greed and systemic issues. Here's the bottom line: when you are barely getting by, it is the corporations that are thriving. Just in the past decade, corporate profits hit all-time highs, even during the worst years of economic downturn. How? Paying low wages, automating as many jobs as possible, and cutting costs at every turn. And the take of those at the top? Today's CEOs make over 400 times more than their average employee. Not capitalism, it's exploitation. Take housing, for example. In recent years, private equity firms and hedge funds have begun snapping up real estate, turning neighborhoods into investment portfolios. That means there are rent hikes, displacing families from affordable housing, and millennials and Gen Z are stuck in the end in a vicious cycle of paying more for less. Fun fact: if Jeff Bezos dropped $1,000 on the ground, it wouldn't be worth his time to pick it up. Meanwhile, you're checking under couch cushions for spare change. Something doesn't add up, does it? So, the system is rigged. But how do we fight back? Let's dive into the traps you need to avoid and the steps you can take to escape the wealth gap. Point 4. The illusion of riches. Social media is the greatest illusionist of our era. You see influencers driving luxury cars, wearing $1,000 outfits, and jet-setting to exotic destinations, and you ask yourself, why not me? But the truth is that almost everything you see online isn't real wealth. It's financed. That new car? It's on a lease. Those Gucci clothes? Bought with credit cards. Even those vacations are often comped by brands or covered in debt. Meanwhile, you're feeling inadequate, spending money you don't have just to keep up. It's vicious, and the winner is the bank collecting the interest payment. 5 thing. Most of us came out of school knowing little to nothing about money. We learned how to calculate the circumference of a circle, but not how to budget or invest or do our taxes. Financial literacy isn't just a skill, it's a survival tool. And without it, you're left open to predatory loans, high-interest credit cards, and financial mistakes that can take years to fix. The result? An entire generation that feels lost when it comes to money. But it doesn't have to be this way. Point 6. Take control of debt. So let's start with the elephant in the room, debt. If you're drowning in it, you're not alone. The average millennial carries $38,000 in non-mortgage debt, and Gen Z isn't far behind. But here's the good news. No matter how overwhelming it feels, you can take control. Awareness is the first step. Sit down, list every debt you owe, and organize them by interest rate. Once you know what you're up against, choose a repayment strategy, the debt snowball or the avalanche method. Snowball focuses on paying off the smallest balances first for psychological wins. Avalanche targets high-interest debts first, saving you more in the long run. Pick the one that works for you and stick to it. And here's the key: stop adding to the problem. Cut up unnecessary credit cards, say no to impulse purchases, and focus on living within your means. Remember, every dollar you throw at your debt is a dollar closer to freedom. Think of debt as a bad ex. The longer you stay involved, the more it drains you. It's time to cut ties for good. Once you paid off debt, then building wealth is next. And no, it's not for just the ultra-wealthy, it's for anyone willing to start. Point 7. The power of investing. Investing is the secret sauce to building wealth, and the sooner you start, the better. Here's why. Compound interest. It's what happens when your money earns money, and then that money earns even more money. Imagine planting a seed, watching it grow into a tree that produces fruit year after year. That's the power of investing. But here's the thing. Most people overcomplicate it. You don't need to be a stock market wizard or have thousands of dollars to start. Platforms like Robinhood, Fidelity, and Vanguard let you begin with as little as $10. Focus on low-cost index funds like the S&P 500, which historically provides an average annual return of 8%. Over decades, that can turn a few $100s into hundreds of thousands. And remember, time is your best friend. The sooner you can start, the more you'll take advantage of the power of compounding snowball. Even if you are in your 20s, it is a golden opportunity to build a financially secure future for yourself. Investing, however, is only part of the solution. Actually, the true eradication from the trap of wealth will be seen only when one also rethinks how he will make money in the first place. Point 8. Diversify your income streams. This is a blunt truth. Relying solely on a 9-to-5 job is risking everything. Jobs vanish overnight, and one source of income certainly is never enough today. That's why diversifying your income streams is crucial. Start with a side hustle. This could be freelancing, creating digital products, coaching, or even selling a few things online. Sites like Fiverr, Upwork, and Etsy have made it easier than ever to turn skills or hobbies into extra cash. Not only does this give you more financial stability, but it also accelerates your ability to save, invest, and pay off debt. Think long-term now. Build passive income streams such as dividend-paying stocks, rental properties, or digital courses. Passive income is the holy grail of financial freedom. It's money that works for you even while you sleep. Imagine this: your future self relaxing on a beach knowing your investments and side hustles are paying the bills. Sounds better than stressing over rent, right? You have cut your debt, invested some, and diversified income streams. But there is just that one last piece of the puzzle to change your mind about money. Here's the bottom line: Millennials and Gen Z are facing challenges unlike any other generation. But that doesn't mean you're doomed to fail. Taking control of your debt, investing in your future, and creating multiple streams of income sets you free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. The road will be hard, but it will be worthwhile. Imagine a future where you truly thrive rather than merely survive. A future where money is more of a resource rather than a source of anxiety and stress. That future starts today, with the decisions you make today. Ending screen with glowing buttons for like, subscribe, and comment. Over the ending screen, a teaser plays of the video. How much car can you really afford? By salary. If you're ready to take the next step, check out my video on how much car can you really afford. It's a game changer for anyone thinking about buying a vehicle without wrecking their finances. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with the next topic you'd like me to cover. And together, let's build a community focused on financial freedom and success. Until next time, stay smart, stay inspired, and take control of your future.